There are two forces living inside you right now, two voices that never stop speaking, never stop pulling you in opposite directions. One whispers fear, hesitation, uncertainty. It tells you to slow down, to stay safe, to avoid the risk. The other, it burns, it pushes, it demands more. It shows you a version of your life that feels almost unreal in its greatness. And every single day, you decide which one to feed. Not with words, not with intentions, but with your actions. Because doubt does not need to be created. It is already there, waiting, watching, growing stronger every time you hesitate, every time you overthink, every time you choose comfort over courage. But vision must be fed. It must be protected, nurtured, and strengthened through relentless focus. Because if you neglect it, even for a moment, it begins to fade. It loses clarity, it loses power, and slowly, it becomes nothing more than a distant thought. This is where most people lose, not because they lack ability, not because they lack opportunity, but because they feed the wrong voice. They wake up and scroll through distractions. They compare their lives to others. They entertain doubt as if it were truth, and without realizing it, they are starving the very thing that could change their life. Your vision is not just an idea, it is a responsibility. It is the blueprint of who you are capable of becoming. And if you ignore it, if you silence it, if you betray it, you are not just delaying success, you are denying your own potential. Look at the lives of those who built something that lasted beyond them. They were not free from doubt, they were not untouched by fear, but they made a decision so powerful that it overruled everything else. They chose to believe, not blindly, not foolishly, but with a level of conviction that made quitting impossible. Think about the man who failed thousands of times before bringing light into the world, Thomas Edison. To the average mind, failure after failure becomes proof to stop. But to a mind fueled by vision, failure becomes feedback. It becomes direction. It becomes part of the process. That is the difference. Doubt interprets struggle as a sign to quit. Vision interprets struggle as a sign to continue, and whichever interpretation you accept shapes your reality. Because your mind does not decide what is true, it decides what you repeatedly focus on. If you focus on your limitations, they expand. If you focus on your fears, they multiply. If you focus on your past failures, they define you. But if you focus on your vision, if you become obsessed with it, everything begins to align around it. Your energy changes. Your habits shift. Your decisions become sharper, more intentional, more aligned with where you are going, not where you have been. And this is where clarity becomes your weapon, because a vague vision creates a weak pursuit. You cannot chase something you cannot see. You cannot build something you cannot define. The mind needs detail, it needs direction, it needs something so real that it feels like it already exists within you. What does your life look like when you win? Not in general terms, not in safe, acceptable answers, but in vivid, undeniable detail. Where are you? What are you doing? Who have you become? Because the clearer your vision becomes, the harder it is for doubt to survive. Doubt thrives in uncertainty. Vision thrives in clarity. And when clarity takes over, something inside you begins to harden, not in a negative way, but in a focused, disciplined, unshakable way. You stop negotiating with distractions. You stop justifying delay. You stop entertaining excuses, because now you have something to protect. And protection requires discipline. Not motivation, not bursts of energy, but discipline, the kind that shows up when you don't feel like it, when the excitement fades, when the results are not immediate. Discipline is how you feed your vision daily. It is how you prove to yourself that you are serious, not just interested, because interest fades, commitment remains. And once you cross that line, from interest to commitment, everything changes. You no longer ask if you should do the work, you simply do it. You no longer wait for the perfect moment. You create it. You no longer fear failure. You expect it and move through it, because you understand something most people never do. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every setback, every mistake, every moment where things don't go as planned, they are not stopping you. They are shaping you. They are refining your thinking, strengthening your resilience, sharpening your ability to adapt. Look at Henry Ford. Before revolutionizing the automobile industry, he faced repeated business failures, but he did not allow those failures to define his identity. He allowed them to refine his approach, and that is what you must do, because doubt will try to use you. Evidence that you are showing up, evidence that you are improving, evidence that you are becoming the person your vision requires. And once that confidence takes root, It becomes self-sustaining. You no longer need external motivation because you have internal proof, and that proof becomes your foundation. From that foundation, you build momentum, and momentum changes everything. It turns effort into habit. It turns discipline into identity. It turns vision into reality. But it all begins with a decision, a simple, powerful decision that most people never fully commit to stop feeding doubt and start feeding your vision. Because at the end of the day, your life will reflect whichever one you choose to nurture, not occasionally, not when it's convenient, but consistently, relentlessly, without compromise. And if you can do that, if you can protect your vision, discipline your actions, and starve your doubt, there will come a moment when everything shifts, not suddenly, not magically, but undeniably. The person you once imagined becomes the person you are, and the life you once thought was out of reach becomes the life you are living, all because you made a choice to feed what matters and starve what doesn't. And that is where transformation begins.